horrifying moments. How Ukrainian forces destroy over 6,000 Russian troops in a week. Russia appears to be suffering severe losses as it wages its new offensive in eastern Ukraine, amid some of the bloodiest fighting in months, according to Ukrainian officials and independent analysts. Russia has thrown thousands of troops and hundreds of tanks and armored vehicles into the offensive, which is focused mainly on the strategic city of Avdiivka and further north near the city of Kupiansk. Russian forces for roughly 2 weeks have been trying to encircle Avdiivka, which is one of the most heavily fortified areas of Ukraine's front line. Ukrainian officials on Sunday claimed Russia had lost over 6,000 soldiers in a week, as well as over 400 armored vehicles and tanks. Britain's defense intelligence claimed Russian casualties have spiked by 90% since it began the offensive. Media cannot independently verify those numbers, but numerous videos of the Russian attacks around Avdiivka released by Ukrainian units suggest Russia is taking losses on a scale not since last winter. Some of the videos show columns of Russian armor coming under withering Ukrainian fire as they try to advance, pummeled by artillery and anti-tank missiles, and running into minefields. In other videos, Russian forces can be seen being barraged by US-supplied cluster munitions. Large groups of Russian infantry can be seen being struck by artillery. Open-source analysts watching the videos have counted dozens of Russian vehicles destroyed and damaged. Ukraine does not publish its own casualties, but Ukrainian officials have acknowledged they are also large. So far, Russian forces have made little progress, only advancing a few hundred meters near Avdiivka, according to both Ukrainian and Russian accounts. But despite the losses, Russia is continuing its efforts to encircle Avdiivka. The Washington, D.C.-based Institute for the Study of War on Sunday assessed Russia was moving more troops up to continue the attack. Ukrainian officials have said they believe the determined Russian effort to seize Avdiivka is motivated by the Kremlin's desire to claim a significant victory ahead of Russia's presidential elections next year. Russia lost 6,030 soldiers in Ukraine during the past week, according to a Monday update from the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces. The news comes as Kyiv's forces reportedly conducted multiple strikes on Russian positions over the weekend. The General Staff said Russia has suffered a total of 305,970 troops losses since the beginning of its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. That number includes 880 casualties suffered over the past day. Russia passed the 300,000 mark in Kyiv's tally on October 31st, when it hit 300,110 losses. Media has not been able to independently verify Ukraine's figures, and other estimates tend to be more conservative than Kyiv's. The Kremlin does not frequently comment on its own estimates of troops' casualties, and when it does, experts have said its numbers are not accurate. The Institute for the Study of War, ISW, think tank wrote on Sunday that Ukrainian forces reportedly intensified strikes on rear Russian areas in southern Ukraine and occupied Crimea. In its most recent assessment of the war, ISW said that along with strikes on Russian-occupied Kherson Oblast on Saturday and Sunday, Ukraine attempted an unsuccessful drone strike at an oil refinery railway in Jankoy, Crimea, on Sunday. The ISW also noted that a Russian military blogger claimed Kyiv's armed forces conducted a Storm Shadow missile strike on Berdyansk, Zaporizhzhia Oblast, on November 5th. Elsewhere in Ukraine, Kyiv's military continued offensive missions near the long-contested city of Bakhmut in the Donetsk Oblast. The ISW reported Ukraine's forces additionally made confirmed gains in western Zaporizhzhia Oblast and on the east bank of Kherson Oblast on November 5th. Ukraine's forces also expanded its foothold on the Russian-controlled bank of the Dnieper River in southern Ukraine, according to geolocated footage cited by ISW. Heavy fighting continues near Avdiivka in Donetsk Oblast, where Russian President Vladimir Putin's military has dedicated heavy resources. However, Kyiv reported, Putin's forces have sustained heavy losses in their efforts to capture Avdiivka. Ukraine's 47th Mechanized Brigade said in a Monday Telegram post that Russia has seen nearly 7,000 soldiers killed or wounded in Avdiivka during the past 3 weeks of fighting. The post also said Russia has lost 100 tanks and 250 other armored vehicles in the city during the same time period. Russian occupiers are unable to surround Avdiivka thanks to the actions of our defenders, the brigade wrote.
Выстрел!